Rose from the group Blackpink, who is now pursuing her solo career. As a singer, I didn't research during her Blackpink phase, actually. I knew a lot about Blackpink's history. What happened to them? The issues they had with the company, and the solo careers they are pursuing now. I know the group's history and their significance as perhaps the most important female K-pop group. But I started listening to her. I got to know and have been following her live performances, and I really like them. Compared to what I see as the usual standard that I notice from K-pop singers. She seems like a singer who has broken free, who had a weight on her shoulders and is now free, light, relaxed, enjoying what she's doing. Even in some performances where she wasn't physically at her best, she was a bit sick, but she delivered well, seeming satisfied, light, and happy with what she's doing now. It's quite interesting. I like her technique. This isn't the first video where I react to her, unfortunately. The platform ended up blocking my previous video where I had done a first reaction to her due to copyright issues. But now let's see if this one works. If I can do this reaction to Rose. She sings a song that, if I'm not mistaken, is by Bruno Mars. It's too good to say goodbye. It talks about regret, about a relationship that ended. So let's see how she delivers this to us.
I've made mistakes. I could have treated you better. I let you go away.
Her timbre is very sweet. She has a certain breathiness that isn't excessive. It's not a metallic voice. It's a slightly velvety voice. A bit darker but still sweet. This makes her voice unique. But she has the YG technique, which always has a vocal direction more towards the cheek. They place the chest voice mainly. Chest voice and mixed voice, but mostly chest voice. In this middle region here, which doesn't sound too nasal. She is minimally nasal and more open in the chest. It's like this. It's a voice that is projected towards the palate and the cheek, behind and here. This voice brings a lot of the feeling of affection. Affection and reflection. Although it is also used a lot in blues and in more upbeat songs. But it fits well with these songs, like this one, which is a romantic lament. And in her timbre, she doesn't accentuate this too much. I don't know if it's due to vocal control or an interpretative choice, which I believe is more interpretative. But she has a lot of this characteristic.
Treated you better. I let you go away. There goes my happily ever after. Tell me why can't we try and start again? This can't be how our story ends. You're more than my boy, you're my best friend. Tell me you remember when, ooh,
She has a technical uniformity and also in projection. Her voice, of course, is in a song where the melodic range is more in the mid to low range. But whether she goes into her chest voice or into her mixed voice, here she's not exactly in her head voice, with that high projection of high notes, but in this lower range of low notes. So here she has a lot of uniformity. In some notes, she adds a vocal fry. She has a slight and small vibrato That is characteristic of her. She doesn't have a very intense vibrato. She doesn't usually do many volume variations. She often creates a cushion on some notes, an air cushion, where she fits the note in the middle. Within milliseconds, within a second, she fits the note into the breathiness she creates. Although she's not exactly using the whisper voice technique. It's a voice with sweetness. It's a complicated song to interpret, because it's by Bruno Mars, so we're talking about another technical level. But she's been doing well and bringing her own style, very delicate and sweet, with her technique and without many worries. Free. She's performing in a free way.
You remember best friend. Tell me you remember when, ooh, I was your girl and you remember it was you and me against the world, baby. Ain't nobody gonna love me like the way you do. You ain't ever gonna find a love like mine. Tell me, what can I do to make it up to you? 'Cause what we got's too good to say goodbye.
Her high note was very good. Here she's in full head voice, full and complete. She doesn't open into a belting. She didn't add any extra shine. She didn't push too hard, but here it was a big note. And it's enjoyable to listen to her. She's not a voice, in my personal view, in my perspective as a classical music singer and a fan of rock and metal. Within my perspective and personal taste, I don't consider her one of the best singers. But she is extremely consistent, always delivers everything in tune and with her technique. She doesn't have a very rich technique with great complexity. She simply sings the way she wants. She knows and does it in a way that feels good to her. And that's wonderful. Sometimes much more beautiful than doing big technical flourishes, etc. It's enjoyable to see her singing with Bruno Mars. She's always, like here, jumping while singing the melody. It's wonderful. You can see that she's doing what she loves. She has that spontaneity. She's a bit playful. We saw her interactions with Bruno Mars here in Brazil when they came, right after they released the app. But very good, very good.
Make it up to you. 'Cause what we got's too good to say goodbye. Goodbye.
Look at how easily she hits the high note, as if it were nothing. But it's in a good range for her to sing.
Ooh.
How lovely. She's smiling at the end. It's wonderful. I enjoy listening to her singing and I like this relaxed style, you know? She's a K-pop singer who breaks free from the constraints the industry imposes. That robotic thing. I don't follow, as I said, I didn't follow Blackpink. In my personal taste, I didn't like the songs. But I know about this industry standard because I researched a lot in these 2 years that I've known K-pop. I dove deep to find things I like. But I only like one song or another from the studio versions. For me, they would all become bands. There are songs, for example, from Baby Monster. I listen to the studio version and I find it horrible. I listen to the same song in the band version and I find it wonderful. So, I like it this way because of that sound. Of classical music, metal, and rock. I'm used to that sound. With the singer in front of everyone, with the true voice and technique. That's what I prefer. My congratulations to Rose. At this moment at the end of January, she's touring in France, in Paris. She's super happy, runs through the crowd, shakes hands with everyone, sings along, steps away from the mic, goes off-key, laughs. It's wonderful. I really like it. And here she delivered very well with her technique and everything in tune. You'll always hear the melody in tune, without inaccuracies. that would bother you. In any way, it's a very good, and very free delivery. Congratulations to Rose. So, if you enjoyed this reaction video, leave your like and comment below. Consider making a contribution of any amount possible here in the button, super thanks, or below in the PayPal link. And if you want to watch this reaction with the original audio and video, access my Patreon channel here in the description. See you later.